What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Zoo. We are here for episode 4, and bam, check it out. We have a brand new, fresh start. We are on a brand new zoo. We have the 40,000 that you normally start with, and I feel like I kind of wanted to do a do-over. So hopefully you guys aren't too upset about this. Obviously, it was really fun when we had the grizzly bears mating all over the place and the ostriches and everything like that. But I felt like I was new to the game in that I didn't really know what I was doing. I still don't fully know what I'm doing, but I've done a little bit more research. I've looked into the game a little bit more, and I don't know. I want to breathe a little bit more life into it. Like, I feel like our old zoo was just kind of like a bunch of boxy habitats with like singular paths going through them, nothing really cool happening. We weren't really spending time on the habitats and really making them look very nice. And I would like to kind of take our time a little bit more. I'm thinking that maybe we every episode we kind of like build a habitat and add the animals and then get footage of the animals, and then like the next episode move on to the next habitat. Like it felt very disjointed. It didn't feel like a nice zoo that I would want to go to, and we're gonna see what we can do here. So we are gonna start from scratch. I've got to pause so that we aren't losing any money, and we're gonna get into this. So I'm gonna try to make it like look as nice as we possibly can. Like last time, you guys know, we just kind of like picked a path and then it was like slightly crooked. So this time we're actually gonna take our time. We're gonna use all the tools at our disposal. So you can align it to a grid. We can choose a grid here, and then check this out. We can make this perfectly even and have it come out here. And I feel like we need some sort of a really cool welcome area maybe. So I'm gonna see how can we, yeah, we can just do this. I'm gonna make some sort of a crazy welcome area, and it's gonna have like a giant fountain or something like that. Like I want this to actually look nice. So we'll see what we can do, and then everything else can kind of branch off of that. So that looks pretty good. I'll add like another layer of it here. And all right, so off to a good start there. I like that. Let's see what we have in terms of fountains. Now I'm not even sure. Nature facilities. How do we add a fountain? We actually don't even have any unlocked yet. I found them here. They're under construction, so we aren't going to be able to put a fountain in here yet. I think we need to hire mechanics and then get mechanics doing research to be able to unlock all the different things we can do. And mechanical research is something that we weren't even doing last time. So let's I guess we'll eventually come back to this, but we need to build our first little exhibit. So I'm gonna say, how do we want this to go? I'm thinking that we have this central area, so it's got like a fountain, it's got like some benches and stuff you can sit at, and then you've got like information booths, you've got a gift shop and stuff like that, and then maybe we have like a path that goes out around like this, and it's kind of a big circle, and obviously we'll have little paths in throughout and little like parts that jut off of it, but then that way there's kind of a flow, so you go in and you kind of go around one direction, you hit everything, and then you come back out and you get hit with the gift shop on the way in and the way out. We're gonna be making some money, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so I guess we just kind of start it. I mean, we could put it like, start it kind of coming off of this corner here, maybe. So yeah, you guys can kind of see what I'm going for here. Something just a little more flowy that has a little more movement. I mean, our last one was all hard right angles, all just blocky, you know, like a city center. It didn't flow well. People got kind of trapped up on top of each other and stuff like that. So we want to try to avoid that as best as we can. It doesn't seem like this shop is working. It's not clicking to it. So let me hold on. Let me back both of these up. If we get the smaller shop, boom, right like that. All right. So you first walk in. You've got a gulpy drink shop. You've got a cheap beef meat shop, and then you've also got a kind of, you know, souvenir type shop and stuff. We should definitely have some information booths. Maybe this is the direction that you're gonna go, or we could put an information booth on each side. So I'm just I'm gonna grab the info shop. We're gonna move this around. I'm gonna say we kind of put it maybe one on each side. So we'll put one there and then one over on the other side when we need it. We don't really need it right now. And that should be decent. Now, one thing I was thinking, if we can get some decent vegetation and stuff here and block this off so that they can't see it, we could have like the retail front facing this way, and then we could have a lot of our, you know, vet facilities and stuff like that back here. So let's see if we can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and let's take a look at some of our terrain or nature. We're gonna take a look at nature here and see what kind of we need some bigger stuff than that. Oh, dude, I just realized a baobab tree might be a really nice addition for this entrance here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to put this in the middle as much as we possibly can. I mean, it's never gonna be perfect, but yeah, that's pretty dope. I like that. Now, can we get some benches? First, we could set up some flowers around it. Feel like that's gonna look really nice. That way it doesn't look like a tree that's just simply coming out of the stone, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna look kind of legit. And then we could set up some benches all the way around. Boom, look at that. Now we've got a nice little entrance area. I mean, it's nothing crazy, and we definitely, we could use more as time goes on, but at least this is starting to look a little bit better. It actually looks like something you would want to go to, not just this weird blocky zoo that we had going on before. We've got a little bit of effort happening here. Now, we do have to be careful. You guys know this is a little dangerous here with the money going out. We've got to be very, very cautious to make sure that we have some animals in here before anything else goes wrong. We need to cover this up and then build a little like employee area. And then we really need to get our first exhibit going in here. Aha, maybe something like this. This looks pretty savanna. I'm gonna put this here, and then we could put a second one behind it just to really block it off so these people can't see it. Put one here, and then here. It's all about what goes on behind the scenes, man. If you can't see it, people don't know it's there. Just like that. All right, so what they don't know won't hurt them. Now what we could do is we could have a little employee path that kind of cuts off this way. So let's grab a staff path. I'm gonna go for this color. We can probably make it a little bit smaller. This doesn't have to be very big for the staff. Then we can bring it across here like that. We can go ahead and exit it, and then this is gonna be kind of like our little staff area. So the first thing we're gonna need is the animal trading center. So we're gonna have to go in here. We're gonna go to our facilities. We're gonna have to get some staff facilities, get rid of this bench filter, and we need the trade center is going to be our most important thing right off the bat. So let's go ahead and flop this around. Looks good. If we can get this to attach, just like that. All right, so we've got a trading center now, which means we're going to be able to buy some animals. I guess we also probably want to put a keeper hut in here. We actually could probably move this. Let's put the keeper hut on the ends. Notice how we have all this stuff set up to be on a grid feature, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and move this. I'm gonna get it right up next to it so it almost looks like these are a part of the same building. So we've got the keeper hut, we got everything else. Honestly, I don't think we need a veterinary place and stuff like that yet. Yeah, we're definitely gonna want like a quarantine and a research hut and a break room and stuff like that, but I don't think we need to buy that yet. I think we really need to worry about getting some animals in here so that we can start making some money. So let's take a look at the market here. Last time we started with grizzly bears, it was a little aggressive. It was, it was fun, but it turned out to be kind of a hard thing to take care of. I'm gonna get a male warthog and a female warthog. Can we get both of these? Nice, we got both of them. Okay, so we're gonna put these guys in together. And I did find out how you can give the animals contraceptives so they won't have babies. So we'll kind of start with them, but then eventually if we want to mate a little bit, we could potentially, which will be good. But our first pen is going to be a warthog pen. So let's do this. Let's try to make this. Now, what do warthogs need? This is something that we didn't really pay too much attention to in the past. So we're going to go down to common warthog. They need 290 square meters of habitat. They don't need any water or trees. They like it to be from 8 to 40 degrees Celsius, which is fine. They want a grade 2 fence that's at least 3.3 feet tall. So we're gonna go with probably a glass fence there. They like savanna and rainforest. They're from Africa, so I mean they're gonna be happy just currently where they are. So we need, like I said, 290 square meters. Let's try to get something going here. So I'm thinking our first exhibit could just kind of be could just be right here. So I'm gonna try to keep this as clean as possible. That was one of the things that was driving me nuts in the last one, is I felt like we weren't very clean in the way our exhibits were set up. Before, we were just making like little like flat sections, but you can actually have this curve. I've been playing around with the building a little bit, so we can have it curve perfectly along this path. That way it's just overall, I think it's gonna look a lot nicer. I'm not sure how much space these guys need. I'm not sure how big this is gonna be. Let's come back this way, and then we're gonna go back to a straight angle and connect it like that, and that looks pretty good. All right, that's looking a little bit better. How big is this? I wanna see it as a whole. Do we need, I think we might need a door on it to be able to consider it an enclosure. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna set up a door right here. So let's go to barriers. We're gonna go for a habitat gate. Bam, just like that. So that's a habitat now. Now, how big is our habitat? Let me see. 1,000 meters. What did the warthogs need? They only needed 290. I don't want to cramp them. Plus, when there's 2 of them in there, I feel like it's gonna get a little bit tougher. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go in. We're gonna have to hire some staff. We're just gonna hire a keeper. We need a keeper right off the bat. Go ahead and put him there. And then we also need to connect this path. So we're gonna need a staff path. We can have this connect like this, and then we can have the staff path kind of go off. Oop, oop. What are you talking about? Malformed path? We could have the staff path kind of go off this way. It could go off this way like that, so it's going to be able to get to the future enclosures that we put out there. But now we've got a keeper. We've got all that going on. I'm going to go ahead and start time. Let's go into our animal trading. We're going to grab our animals that we have in here. These 2. Whoa. Why do we have so many ostriches? We still have ostriches left over from the earlier game. I guess we'll take that. That's not a bad thing. So we've got some free ostriches. I'm gonna move these guys in here, and then we're gonna have to figure out their food and habitat situation and stuff, but we're gonna need this keeper to get them in there first. Actually, I think it's a caretaker that does that. Yeah, the caretaker is the one that puts them in here, and the keeper's the one that takes care of them. Okay, so we've got a keeper hired and a caretaker hired. Looks good to me. Our first warthog's going in there. Let's go ahead and pause this and make sure that we know what he wants. So taking a look at this, looks like they're gonna need more short grass. So we're gonna grab our terrain here. We're gonna look for some short grass. We're gonna add that in, and then they want a little bit of soil as well. So we can kind of get a nice mixture in there. Maybe a little bit of rock. That might be too much rock. Let's lower the intensity here. We want to kind of mix the terrains a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural. That looks pretty good. We could do a little more long grass and then maybe a little more short grass. But overall, that looks pretty solid. So on the terrain side, we're looking good. Habitat has moderate environmental welfare issues. We're looking for plants and coverage, of course. Okay, so what does he like? So anything from grassland and tropical is going to make that a little bit better. We might actually be able to just, like I said earlier, grab some of these trees, and I think that's going to be an easy way for us to improve this a little bit. Yeah, we've already got a bit more coverage, and we need more plants as well, though. So like he likes that marula tree. We could add maybe this thing here. We could add this guy in, just like that. That looks pretty cool. He really likes the umbrella thorn, so we could try to find another one of those, like this guy over here. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna move this in here. I'm not really sure what I want to do with these trees. Like I want it to look nice. I don't want it to get all cluttered and weird, you know what I mean? Actually, you know what? Those 2 trees are literally perfect. That's all he wanted. So now if we come back here, he wants some hard shelter and he wants enrichment. Hard shelter there, and then enrichment, food and toy enrichment. So, okay, that's kind of cool. We don't really have any food or toy enrichment for you right now, little buddy. But we're gonna work with this. All right, so we need a shelter. I hate the shelters, dude. They're so ugly. I mean, I realize the animals want something to go and hide in, but they're just, dude, they're so big and boxy and just ugly. So I'm gonna put this over here. Make sure it's within the shelter. Just like that. All right. I'm thinking let's move this over here. Hold on. Pause. Gotta pause these guys for a second. We'll move that. I think we'll move this out of here for now, and then let's make this a little bit smaller. We don't need this much area. We're gonna make it a little bit smaller. We're just gonna kind of close it off like that. Get it situated in the corner like that so it's nice and flush. All right, looks pretty good. Are these guys, are they happy? I mean, they don't have any food or anything yet, obviously, but other than that, their welfare is great. Everything but enrichment needs nothing else to be done. So we'll take a look at the common warthog here. They like habitat bedding, of course, so we're gonna set that up for them. They like food troughs, and they like water bowls and troughs and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do here, let's get the extra large bedding. We're gonna set this up over back in their little pen area. I'm sure they're gonna appreciate that. And then we could add like a little food trough over here, make sure that people can see it. And then we could add maybe a little water thing here as well. Oh, what? That went in the fence. We did not intend for that to happen. So I'm gonna set this up just so that people can kind of watch them. So we've got that there. Let's go with a large food trough. Why not? Medium. Medium's probably a little bit better, a little more appropriate for them. So boom, we've got each of those. Can we make like mud? Like, can we make some mud for them? I feel like they'd really appreciate some mud. I don't know. Let's see what we have going on here. They're still gonna be fairly happy. The problem is we just don't have any enrichment for them. So if that's the case, we're gonna have to build a research center. We're gonna have to get a vet and kind of get that going, get the research going. So I'm gonna go. We need a research center. We're gonna set this up and get it lined up nice and pretty like. Dude, I'm already so much happier with how this is going. So we've got our research center there. That means we're gonna have to hire a vet. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna go to staff, we're gonna hire a veterinarian. The vets are gonna do research for us when we are not doing anything else. Let's view our center. We're gonna grab our vet, we're gonna research on the common warthog, and then we should be able to get some enrichment in here eventually. We've got 45 people in the zoo. Right now it's still showing a huge loss, but unfortunately, shoot. Hopefully this starts going up. What we need, let's take a look at our hotspots here. Hold on a second. We're gonna go to buildings. These don't have anybody manning them. We need vendors. So let's see here. Yeah, no vendor. We need at least 4 vendors. So we're gonna have to come into the zoo. We're gonna have to hire some staff. I'm gonna say let's hire, I mean, we might as well do 4. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. So those guys are gonna man those, and then I guess while we're at this, we are probably gonna need some sort of a rest area. A staff building. Yeah, these guys are gonna want a place to kind of be able to relax a little bit. So we'll set this up right like so. One thing we definitely want to do right now, we cannot, I don't think we can afford babies. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in, we need to go to zoo, we need to go to our animals, and then you guys can see on the female, we're going to give her some contraceptives. So that way these two are not going to be having any babies anytime soon. We've spent a lot of money, like a lot of this profit and loss is from kind of building up this original little area here. We just need, we need some more money to come in. That, or we need a new pin. We honestly probably just need a new pin. So I'm gonna say let's grab another little path here. We're gonna go back to this, and we're gonna have it come off this way. Let's have it run back here. We're gonna run it along this. I guess just like that. That looks pretty nice. And then we're gonna put a little ostrich area over here, I think, because that way it's close to all of our keepers and everything else. And actually, you know what? One thing we almost forgot here, we need the tipping facilities and stuff. We need, so we need a donation box. We should probably have one. I mean, if they're all huddled up right here, we should probably have one right there. And then let's get maybe a little educational speaker. We could put it next to the donation box, and then we're gonna, we need to find a better way to hide these things and make it look a little bit better, but we're gonna put an educational speaker on the common warthog, and that way people are getting a little bit of education. There's a spot where if you wanna give us a tip, you can, and hopefully that's good. Looks like our first level of research on this common warthog is done, but we didn't get any enrichment until level 2, so we're gonna wait for level 2 to happen here. But I wanna make the warthog enclosure, like, You know, like I said before, I want to make each of these enclosures a little bit better. So before we move on to the ostriches, which will probably be next episode, let's actually make this look kind of cool. Like, let's add some extras in here to hopefully make them happy, or at least make it look a little bit more appealing. Even though their terrain doesn't really call for it, I feel like having a little like water area to kind of get in the mud and root around a little bit and stuff like that is something they would enjoy. So I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go try to make something like that. So let's get a push going on here. We're not gonna have it be very large. I'm just gonna kind of put it in the middle here. Yeah, just like that. Nice little pond here. Like, not really a pond, just like a little area to hang out. And then I think we can add. Can't we add like rocks and boulders and fun stuff like that? So like let's give them like maybe a. I don't know. We don't need something that big. Like just a place to kind of hang out in a little bit, you know, rummage around, root around, like that's what they do, right? So let's see if we can build something kind of cool here. Maybe something for them to be able to climb on. Maybe we could make like a little cave type thing. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here, but I'm just kind of going for it. Dude, see, like stuff like that, like that's cool there. That is really, really cool. So there's like a little thing they can run through if they want. I don't know. We could even add a few plants in here. Like let's go into not terrain. We want nature. We're gonna go for like little plants like this. So like little nettles and stuff. Like they might just appreciate a little bit of color. You know what I mean? Like let's not have them live in this super boring, you know, just kind of pin with nothing but some grass. Let's give them something to do. So we'll add some little plants in here. Might be able to add like a little color in here. Let's make that. We could add like some shrubbery over here on the side of their pin just to kind of block it off, so it's not like a big ugly pin thing that they have going on like that. That just already looks 10 times better than anything we had ever built for any of our previous animals. I feel like maybe we should line this with flowers and stuff. I mean, they're not really flowery animals, like they're warthogs. They're down, they're dirty, they like to dig around and root around and stuff like that. But I feel like that just instantly looks, look at him, he's like skipping around and stuff. You can't tell me that this guy isn't happy right now. He's so content, just chilling, laying down. That's what I like to see, brother. That's why I'm out here working hard to give you guys a better life. You know what I mean? So, looking pretty good. Honestly, the last thing that we need to do for these guys is the enrichment, which we're just waiting on the research right now. So if we come in and take a look at our vet research, that's about halfway done. I think I'm gonna call that an end for right now. I feel like these guys are happy. I feel like we're doing better than we had done before. I want a little bit more life in the zoo that we're building this time around. I want to try a little bit harder, and I kind of want to spend a little bit more time with the animals. I feel like we should just kind of get little views like this a little bit more often. Like, look at this though. This is so cool. He's hanging out in his little ponds. Like, this is awesome. We did a good job here. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna see you guys in our next episode. We're probably gonna finish up these guys and take on the ostriches. And peace out.